This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. So many of us buy things online. We don't go to the store as often as we used to, especially whether it's a shopping center or a mall. So what are these properties doing to bring people back? We are going to talk about that today with somebody who has an amazing team of commercial designers that change up these spaces and make them fun and functional. And we're going to focus on malls today because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of malls doing redos, but I'm not really sure what they're doing to bring us back to them. She is the woman behind MSA Interiors. Marcy Sagel is back with us. How you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Happy holidays. Just kind of getting to the end of the holiday season here. So happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. And that being said, I actually went to the mall a couple of times leading into the holidays. The last time was just literally a few days ago. And the mall by me, I'm paying attention because they are starting to redo separate sections. And interesting, and this is a mall I went to since I was a kid. And of course, it's had reincarnations along the way. But I entered one wing that it didn't even occur to me. And the person I'm with, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This actually looks really good here. You know, this feels the way it should feel. And I'm like, where am I? Like, what stores were here? I know the bathrooms were always in that spot over there. But it felt good, like a fresh experience. But what do you see? What's on your radar when it comes to shopping centers and malls?
So shopping centers and malls have gone through a whole lot of transitions, and they're trying to get people back so they feel safe and comfortable. So two key words: safe and comfortable. And so they're doing a lot of different things. So you'll notice that there's a lot of like quiet sections in the center of malls. That's been really popular, where people can go and they can read a book, they can download something, they can read something on their cell phones and have those quiet, comfortable moments in a big, comfortable chair as if they're at home. So that, let's say, you have a husband and he doesn't want to shop, you can dump him off there and he can hang out there for a few hours while you go do your Christmas shopping or your holiday returns or whatever.
Spot on. That's exactly what I saw. And I even pointed it out to my friend. I'm like, take a look over there. It looks like somebody's living room. And it was dad with 3 or 4 of the kids.
Yeah, it's like a lazy boy, right in the middle of the mall. But they have all of these now massage chairs and comfort zones, they're calling them. So basically, you could have anything from, depending on the level of the mall, you could have live piano player and musicians being featured and people gather. And it's still like that sort of comfort zone where you're in a comfortable chair and you're just relaxing and you can kind of hang out there for a long period of time. It allows their other half or other group of their family to kind of like do their shopping while you're just relaxing. So, and the other thing, I don't know if you've noticed, and this has been going on for some time. So the indoor malls are used very, very heavily by seniors for walking.
Yes. Yep.
So it's a great opportunity. In the South, they have the outdoors and it's lovely during the wintertime outside. So people walk outside. But here in the Northeast, the malls are where a lot of elderly people or people recovering from different, types of accidents, they need a place to walk that is warm and comfortable and safe. So in the morning, very early in the morning before a mall even opens, if you ever go in to get a cup of coffee before they open, you'll notice there's lots and lots and lots of people walking the malls for their miles. Yep. And so, so now they're designing malls, indoor malls, to have these, what I call like exercise paths and movements of zones of exercise. So that's sort of a big feature in the malls and shopping centers. They are encouraging people, come there, do your walking, meet other people that are walking as well. And, you kind of have these sort of exercise zones. And then you have the quiet zones. And then you have what I call the activated zones. So you've got different types of things going on, again, depending on the level of I call it level of dollar signs, how high end the stores are. You could have anything from people peddling different goods to the kiosks to the what I call walk quickly zones. You don't want to, they're all peddling perfumes and a million other colognes.
Oh, that's so funny. Walk quickly.
Yeah.
I see it. It's, hey, we got this new thing that'll shine your shoes. I'm not even kidding. Sneakers.
Yeah.
And the mall I'm referring to is your average mall. It's not the higher end. And there are, where I am, you can find them. They're, North Shore of Long Island. This is kind of just in the center. But everything you're saying, spot on. Like, except they haven't done the lanes yet there.
Yeah. And then you have also what I call, they will have art exhibits, and they will really kind of activate these spaces with the community. So they'll have people coming from different organizations to activate a lot of the spaces and make them more of, that like, audience zone where people are actually sitting waiting for something. And again, draws a lot of attention, and they can use it for a lot of marketing and radio spots to kind of like really activate what's going on, whether it be a celebrity or a group of people coming to talk to different people about something. There's just all these really great, cool things that they're doing and making those spots kind of like open and engaging. So,
what I don't understand, Marcy, is that I don't see a lot of performance areas. Like you said, live music and things like that. And a lot of malls, the center where all the corridors feed, they'll do the Easter Bunny, they'll do Santa and things like that.
Yeah.
But you really don't see a lot of bands or even just a combo or trio just jamming a little bit. And I don't know why. Do you think that's because they don't want to take away from the shopping experience, or some people will say, oh, it's too loud, I can't deal with that? Or why not put that, in a courtyard at the end somewhere so you can be intentional if you want to enjoy something like that?
Yeah, that's a great point. So if you are in a location where you have any type of music school, okay, like a Juilliard or
School of Rock even. There's another one there.
We have Peabody. There's a ton of musicians here, okay?
Truth.
And they just want a public space to play.
Yep.
And so, our mall here does have a lot of musicians because I don't think they're paid, to be honest. I think they're just here because they want to basically do it out of enjoyment.
Sure.
And, play in an ensemble where they're getting practice. And I think you do see a lot of it here where we are, and we do not have a lot of malls. We really only have one larger mall in this area. And, but I do agree with you. I don't think there's as many spaces for performance in a lot of these public malls. What we are seeing, though, are hospitals are elevating public spaces for performances. So when we're designing any of the hospitals, they're asking for more performance spaces so that they can engage with the audience that's walking through the hospital and the lobby spaces. So, it's kind of a shift because malls always had performance, always had, lineups of waiting to talk to people or book signing or those kinds of exciting things. But, things are shifting and changing. And so you have to move with the times. So,
but they need
kind of
to.
the difference.
They need to shift to bring people in.
Definitely.
And as you're speaking, memories are coming back. I remember 30 years ago, even more than that, I would be at a mall broadcasting live. I would do I would shoot a top 10, like an MTV type show in the middle of the mall. And it became an event. And sometimes we did it every Friday night. Why? Here's a podcast going on. How about this? How about that? Like take a cue from Disney. You go through Disney, there's always something going on. What are they doing over there? Oh, wow. There's, WXYZ broadcasting from, Ocala or whatever it might be. I'm not seeing that so much, but I think it's needed to bring people back. Let's go shopping centers, malls, aesthetics. So I see a lot of the high ceilings up there, brighter, whiter going on now. What are you feeling? What is trending?
So, you have all of the branding going on from everything in a mall, and everyone has different colors, different logos. It's a lot visually. Okay. because everyone pays a lot of money for their signage and the entrance to the stores. And you know what I mean? You walk through a mall and the entrance is no longer just a glass entrance. It could be this whole thing built out from where your door is. And so you're creating all these sort of unique spaces within the mall. And so there's a lot of eye movement going on. So malls are quieting their decor and in the main spaces so that they can give people that serenity, that sort of spa quiet mode that they are giving them in the center and different courtyard areas.
So there's actually a complaint I had when I was shopping with somebody the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen this in a couple of malls, or the absence of the map. How is there what happened there? Okay, yes, you can use your phone, but it's not as effective. And let's go a couple levels up, and maybe this is going on, but I'm not seeing it. An interactive map where you can even speak to it. Hi, where is the Nike store? And then it should pop up. You are here, and show you where to go. Like, why am I'm lost sometimes. Like, I don't know where to go. And I even went to another mall in Connecticut a couple of weeks ago. They had the map up there and it was all right. But why not something interactive? Am I missing something here? Is this going on?
No, it is definitely going on. I think, because malls were losing money, people were not with COVID and everything else. People really stayed away and they were doing a lot of online shopping. So stores were just really losing money at a lot of their retail spaces. And of course, people are coming back and people are shopping. And this has been a really good season for that in the news. So, what they have to do now is they have to come up to speed. And coming up to speed is taking these maps and making them interactive and, using your phone. And, they have all these phone charging stations and they've got, you can sit and charge your phone and they make you feel comfortable to do that. But the interactive part is so important, and you got to bring that back and bring it up to scale, exactly like what you said. Even if you bring some of these new gaming things into the center and have them live game on large screen TVs and do some of these interactive things that we don't get to see, because typically if you have ever watched any of the really top-notch gamers, I don't know if you've ever done that, that have the online games, and they're all ranked nationally and worldwide, and they know each other.
And they actually know each other. Lots of money doing it too.
And yes, I have a friend's son who is very famous and has been since he's been a teenager, made millions and millions of dollars. They live in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area.
Okay.
Millions of dollars. And he goes around talking about why he is so good at the games and how he's made money through his endorsements and everything else. So it's kind of unique, but that's kind of like a new direction of what you're seeing in the center of malls, like more of the interactive, kind of exciting things, but letting people see how you actually physically do the games, not just online. Like bringing it into sort of the online stuff back into reality where you're actually physically watching. People want to see how you do it. They want to engage and ask questions, not just watch you online. They want to actually be there and see you do it. So it's bringing the new technology, but also bringing some of the old technology in, which is more traditional, so that people can ask questions. They can look at you doing it and they can understand a little bit better about why you're so good at it and someone else is less good at it. So, kind of like a combination of the two things is really what I'm seeing.
Love that idea. And even if you're a senior doing your mall walk, you might walk up and say, what is he doing over there? It's kind of interesting. And I know this is ridiculously old school, but going back to the map for a split second, the information booth, even if it's a human standing there, hi, where do you want to go? That would be okay. But certainly, you got to pay somebody and you could just do it interactively. But I feel like a lot of those touch points are missing now in the mall and we need to bring them back. And my feeling is, and tell me how you feel here, we are going to be craving connection because with AI and, everything is just, so benign. We're not even connecting anymore, just having a person, there. I think that we need that.
Great point, because obviously there are lots of AI customer service booths in a lot of shopping centers now.
I haven't seen them yet, but okay.
Yeah, they're coming.
Okay.
And so what I like to see is, we've got a giant senior audience out there that just want to have something to do every day if they're retired.
Sure.
And there's so many nice people out there that they can be greeters, like you see at the airport. We have senior greeters at our airport. It would be a really nice thing if you have senior greeters at a mall that they can kind of direct you and give you some insight.
Love that idea. I mean, they can have them at Walmart.
Yeah.
That's been a Walmart thing for our own decades.
Absolutely.
You train just a little bit, find the right people that are engaging. They might even do it just for fun,
Sure.
as long as
that's
they're committed.
what I'm saying. I mean, just for something, something for them to continue to have on their schedule. They can meet people and they can be engaging and they know them all. And they're your tour guide. And it helps take it away from just being AI all the time. As you said, let's get some human engagement, some warmth, some compassion. Some people, they're lonely and they come to the mall just to be around other people.
Yeah.
And so, they want to get out of their house to walk around, shop, but they want, everyone can shop online, and you come to the mall because you do want that human engagement.
Is there any other concierge type things that can be done, shopping centers, malls? Then where I'm going with that is there's a market on Long Island, New York, Uncle Giuseppe Market, and they started with one store. Now they've kind of blown up, and it's great food, a lot of prepared stuff. You'll go in there, and there'll be an Italian singer, and it's just an experience. Yep. They opened one about 10 minutes from this studio building, and they actually have golf carts in the parking lot to take you to the front of the store. They'll just pick you up. Now, I know down south, golf carts are a big thing. But here, it was like, oh my gosh, they're actually picking you up so you don't have to schlep, and it's cold out. And I just thought, all right, you know what? That's a nice little touch. The concierge experience, even if it's not a high-end shopping center, what can be done?
Well, I mean, again, it's that engagement. Let's be creative. Let's come up with some new concepts and offer services that other people don't offer. You want people, malls have, a lot of them have closed. And they've sold the land for building. So the ones that are left, you really want to make sure that you have something that's a little bit different than everyone else. I love going to a mall where they have a cooking class in the middle of the mall. Like,
what a great idea.
Like, bring a great chef from a restaurant and a local restaurant and let them, show you how to make homemade pasta and, with the sauce, and let 20 people sign up for it and put little stations out with little, electric burners. Super simple, really engaging, fun, a little bit different, but it's all local and community based. And, coming up with just creative things that actually don't really cost anything.
No.
That are just sort of like simple ingredients, easygoing, something that brings people to the mall and makes them want to just feel more community based.
I am a firm believer in when it seems like an idea that should have been done already, it's the best idea ever.
Absolutely.
And just what you said, I'm not seeing it around here in the New York area.
Yeah.
But there are restaurants within the mall, and some of them are there's a Ruth Chris in the in the mall right around the corner from here. Yeah. The one that I'm referring to, they would do it for free. They would probably even pay for the burner setup. Yeah.
All of them would do it for free. Have a cook-off, pick a topic, and have a seasonal topic that they have to make. Or subject, and, pick that, and then have, 4 top chefs come in, and, you can get marketing out of it, get TV, radio, whatever you need to get.
Sure.
It just brings people there. It's exciting. It's just old school stuff coming back.
Right.
Giving that human engagement and having something a little bit more where the community can feel like, oh, I love that restaurant. I want to go support them on that. Or a local author, that wrote a great book. Have them come in and talk about the book in the center, in an area of the courtyard that they can actually just ask questions without it being a paid book signing kind of thing.
You are so spot on, because books are back. And
oh, yeah.
Barnes and Noble are reopening.
Yeah.
So yeah, wouldn't it be great if somebody was there, even read a passage from a book, or even have a book thing with maybe 10 authors? And back on the cooking thing, you could get local celebrities to come in and judge
100%.
the dishes, and everybody gets samples too, and people walking by. Um, what aesthetics? I'm seeing that white look. Is that
Yeah.
going to stay because of what you said before? We're exposed to so many colors that you can't do
Yeah.
color so much.
They are really popular with more of that, what I call clean aesthetic, very simple, minimalist,
Yeah.
clean aesthetic, mainly because there's just so much going on. And I think, it allows them to have more flexibility, longer shelf life of design, those kinds of things. So I think that's probably why it's designed that way. And the requests that people ask for are typically quiet, minimalist, and modern. Those are the sort of the requests that we get. So
I'm not saying this because you said it, but that wing that they redid in this mall, I'm using as the prototype here. That's the vibe I got. It was bright, simple, minimalistic, but functional, and had a little bit of like one notch up of not opulence, but like the floor was, I can't describe it, but it was like sort of like a granite, but it was nice. And the funny thing is, the person I was walking with pointed it out in another section of the mall. They're redoing it.
Yeah.
We could see the floor from like 30 years ago coming through, and like different, different reincarnations of it. It was kind of weird.
Well, it's funny because terrazzo used to be used all the time, like 30, 40 years ago.
Describe that.
Yeah. So terrazzo looks like a crumbled up, like, let's see, it looks like it's cut up in little pieces, and it looks like it's either marble or granite, that kind of look.
That's exactly what it is. With
30, 40 years ago, that's what everybody had in the malls.
With
on the
cheesy
floor.
colors, though. It was sort of like a pinkish kind of thing, and then another one
pink,
had
we've got yellows.
yellow. Yeah, we said yellow at the same
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. So hospitals also use the same thing. So you would have these terrazzo floors, impossible to touch up, impossible to fix. Okay.
Wow.
And I say that only because there are so many better surfaces. I love terrazzo, don't get me wrong. And it's had a major comeback in the last like 5 years, major. So people have been using a lot more terrazzo. But, in a mall where you're getting heavy traffic, terrazzo is a good thing. And then you have it in a lot of these older malls. So it is getting a resurgence, and it has been getting a resurgence. And so, but it is a little busier. It's not a quiet floor. It's not that serene coloring that we're talking about. So.
It is like you look down, you could get hypnotized or mesmerized.
Exactly.
Like, you have your finger on this, like the pulse of it from 30 or 40 years ago to now. This really is your passion, not just malls, but I mean, just design, commercial design in general. It's wonderful. I got to tell you, like, I love talking with you about this stuff because you know it and you have the passion for it. Do you still feel it? Even looking when you walk through something and just you feel it?
It's a blessing and a curse because I literally love it so much. People, when people ask you like, do you have hobbies? Like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, design. I love what I do. I love art sourcing. I love auctions. I mean, there's so many things about it that I absolutely love and get so passionate about. And, it just feels good. It just feels really good to me.
It shows. It shows. And even talking about something like a mall, just a random topic today, fill the podcast and we could keep going. There's so much there. It's MSAinteriors.com. That's how we find you, right?
That's it. And you make it fun because you have a passion towards design as well, which makes it really interesting.
I could be your apprentice.
Absolutely.
Always great talking with you, Marcy. Thank you so much.
Thank
and here's to cheers to a great 2026.
Absolutely.
All right. We will catch up in the new year.
All right. Take care.
You got it. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.